Hi, today we're going to go over chapter 4 in my book, Spiritual Springboard, and it's called From Failure to Refinement. Now, I was pretty much failing whenever God came knocking for me to turn my life over to Him. And the crazy thing about this failure stuff is in our world, a lot of times failure is looked at as a negative and, something to be ashamed of and something that you cannot recover from. But in God's world, failure is often the catalyst for change. And what I've learned is that if we want to keep growing and evolving, we have to change. And as humans, we get stubborn and stuck in our ways, and we don't want to change. So a lot of times, something has to stir us to change. Now, what happened to me, because I was just so stubborn, was that I would not change. The small nudges that I was being given, I ignored and just kept keeping on like I always had before. And interestingly, people around me were going through some pretty rough stuff, and I felt almost guilty that I wasn't having to go through any hardships. And then I also felt, in a weird sense, like a little bit like jealous, because I wanted to go have the experiences of God that they were having. And in my wrong thinking, I thought something really significantly challenging had to appear before I could experience God and have God move in my life. So what I did, and it was kind of unconsciously, but in a sense, I started putting my mind on things that weren't so positive. And as I did that, my soul called in a pretty devastating situation for me. And it was the dark night of my soul. But here's what I've learned since. You don't have to have a dark night of your soul in order for you to decide to turn your life over to God and for God to even move in your life. I think we're not really taught that God is so available to you. The only thing you have to do is begin seeking Him. And that is the key. And so what happened to me was, when I was in the pit of the dark night of the soul, is when I really began seeking. And in that seeking and in that failure is where I really started experiencing God for the first time in my life, even though I had been in church for 30 something years. So this chapter is just really encouraging for you, because no matter where you are, God is going to meet you right there. So if you have fallen, don't feel shamed. You're already forgiven. He already sees you and who you truly are inside, and He loves you unconditionally. So you just need to put all that aside and just, kind of like I did. I was like, I've really screwed my life up. And I'm not so good at this anymore, so maybe I need some help, instead of being so independent and thinking I could do life on my own. And just in doing that, it began to shift me more in line with the life that I was supposed to live, and kind of just, step by step, take me closer into my discovery of who I truly was instead of who I thought I was. So read chapter 4 and be encouraged by it. And the challenge for you is just to really, turn your life over to God and just invite Him in to be your co-creator, and let Him start teaching you, because everyone's journey is different, and He will teach you in the unique way to you. And that has been such a blessing for me, because He's been my teacher, and He's shown me so much more than I ever learned in church about Him, and just opened my eyes and my mind to all new sorts of possibilities, and really just the kind of love that he has for all of his kids, no matter who you are, what you have done, what side of the tracks you come from, what your race is, what your nationality is, what your religion is. He doesn't care about any of that. So that's just chapter 4. Read it, be encouraged, and then I'll post on here a couple stories of confirmation where people were really failing and how God stepped in and shifted their life. So have a good day. Talk to you later. Bye.